What's up, guys? I'm going to do a real quick review of Rings of Power. Now, Rings of Power, the new Lord of the Rings show on Amazon. They spent $1 billion on this thing. And as you can tell, as you probably know, this is the most beautiful thing you're ever going to see on television. For television, it's easily the most beautiful show ever. Everything about the show is stunning. Now, you can see where the $1 billion went there, but as for the writing, I don't know where the $1 billion went there. For the writing, where'd the $1 billion go? And I'm gonna keep it. I'm not really the biggest fan of the high fantasy stuff. Like, if I had to, like, even Game of Thrones is fantasy, but I'm more a fan of that fantasy, where the fantasy is really mixed in with how shit actually is in our reality. Like, there's fantasy, but the world is still very, like, you can still see the parallels to our world, and it's very similar to our world. And so I'm not really the biggest fan of high fantasy, but I know all the I watch all the movies, but I don't really like know all the lore and the Tolkien books and all that. I don't know any of that. I'm just judging this based on it's a television show, another fantasy television show. And I'm gonna be honest, those first 4 episodes, if this wasn't a Lord of the Rings show, I would have dropped this fantasy show. It felt like in those first 4 episodes, it felt like everything that was said was just said for exploration. It never felt like they were trying to get you to care about these characters. It never actually felt like there was something engaging going on. It was just like exploration and shit is thrown at you. Now when you get into like 5, 6, and 7, and even a finale, that's when shit starts to get good. And that's when I started getting invested in the characters. That's when things start to happen, in my opinion. And the fight scenes are good and all that. And Galadriel, is she? I hope they're making her like kind of insufferable on purpose, because lately I've noticed in media people don't really like when women are bad, like truly bad. They really don't like that. When women are just like truly bad people in shows, either people don't pick up on it or people just try to deny it. Like, it's okay for a woman to play a mean, bad character. Like, a character that's just not a good person or a mean or is a bitch. They really don't like women really doing that, especially the Academy. So if that's really what they're trying to do with Galadriel, I don't think that's what they're trying to do. But that's what they're doing. And that's what they should lean into. That's like with Captain Marvel and Marvel. They should really lean into her being a prick. It will go over well. Just really lean into it. Don't just try to shy away from it. Lean into it. So in season 2, which is going to take 2 years to get here, I hope they lean into that more for Galadriel. Or she notices that that's how she is perceived and she changes her way. Don't try to make her something that she's not, because the way that they write her, she comes off as a mean, bad person who's probably not the best person to be around. So don't shy away from it. Lean into it, and then maybe give her a redemption arc where she notices she's not the best person to be around. So all she wants to do is fight, mission, serious. And that writers have to notice that how she comes off. So there's other plots going around Galadriel that's not like, they just feel like they were introduced too early. They're just doing shit that has nothing to do with the main story. That has nothing to do with what Galadriel is doing. That has nothing to do with what the elf is doing. That has nothing to do with what's going on. It felt like they got introduced too early. And that's for the Stranger. I like the reveal they did with him in the season finale. I'm not going to reveal it, but I like the season finale. At times, it didn't feel like a true season finale, in my opinion. But then I started digging it some more. Overall, this is about a 6.5. I really put this, I just started binging Game of Thrones, but I put this show really on the same level as Game of Thrones Season 1. It's probably been a long time since I've seen Game of Thrones Season 1. But Game of Thrones Season 1 obviously had a better script than this. And this show obviously looks better than Game of Thrones Season 1. You know, Game of Thrones Season 1 was 10 years ago. Well, really, it's 11 years ago. But yeah, I put this on the same level as that. I'm very interested to see where this goes, man. I'm gonna watch season 2. 6.5 out of 10. I'm gonna go with a 6.5 out of 10. That's all I got to say. Peace.